Good morning, River Rocks Church. We're diving into God's Word today. We're going to be in Luke chapter 13. Jesus has just healed a lady who was broken. She's been broken for 18 years physically, basically slumped over and in need of some serious healing. And then here's where we pick up because Jesus healed on the Sabbath. It says the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath and said to the crowd, "There are 6 days in which men ought to work. Therefore come and be healed on them and not on the Sabbath day." This is the arrogance of religion. This is the arrogance of those in power. This is just, it's unbelievable to imagine somebody to say that after someone has been in a situation for 18 years. And Jesus is going to have no problem going toe-to-toe with this ruler of the synagogue. He has no idea that he's going toe-to-toe with the ruler of the universe. You can almost feel like at the end of this, there's this big cheer that happens. And Jesus just says this, verse 15, "Hypocrite, does not each one of you on the Sabbath loose his donkey from the stall and lead it to water? So not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has bound. Think of it, for 18 years be loosed the bond on the Sabbath." And when he said these things, all his adversaries were put to shame, and all the multitude rejoiced for all the glorious things that were done by him. Jesus makes it clear. He says, "You've got to be kidding me, right? Like this lady, you'd untie your donkey, but you wouldn't untie a lady who's been tied up for 18 years. This is, you've lost your mind, or what all you're trying to do is retain power rather than look at the true work of God." And so many times we'll see this in people's lives. They start to get jealous. Maybe even your life is transformed and changed, and now they pick and poke at all the things that are going on in your life that just don't seem to add up the way that they would want them to, or to help themselves look better. We can fall into that trap too. You get a little jealous of somebody else's life as they start to perhaps grow in the Lord and live a different way. Maybe they even on occasion might call out some behavior, or you end up doing that to somebody else because they genuinely are different. They're transformed, and they have a heart now for the Lord. Or all you do is you start talking about Jesus Christ, and your friends are like, "What is wrong with you, man? Like, can you just get off of it? Like, we used to be good friends." Well, you know what? This is the thing that changes souls. This is what changes lives. And you can't do that anymore because you're different. That's what it looks like. And that's where Jesus is at. He's like, no, there is no more of the religious jealousy that's going to keep people bound up forever. For 18 years, that lady had probably been going to the same synagogue, seeing the same ruler week after week after week. And you know what? He did nothing. But then Jesus comes and heals. What a blessing that is. And all the people rejoiced because they knew that there was something evil at some level about this ruler of the synagogue that really was there for his own personal gain, his own desires. And so that's what we have to always watch in our own life. Listen, you know what? If God is getting glorified, then we need to give him glory. We need to make sure that when people around us start to change and transform, that we root them on. We don't try to hold them back, even though we may desire some of that in our own life. It's always a challenge of the heart, and that's what Jesus was doing. Not only did he loosen a lady that was bound for 18 years, broken, but he also was trying to break down someone who had probably been bound for even longer, stuck in his religious ways or, his jealousies, whatever that is. Unfortunately, one was loose and one was not. So I look at that, and it's a challenge to us. Make sure that you are continuing to encourage anybody who's growing in the Lord. Don't get jealous. Are you kidding me? But rather give God glory. Love you guys, and God bless y'all.